everybody, welcome back. This is part 3 of my track dressing. I've split them up, as you probably heard from the part 2. The videos are going to be too long. Anyway, we're looking at the cable trunking. So this is a kit that I built from Scale Model Scenery, and it is very good. One recommendation is don't follow the instructions, but watch their video. They've adapted the way they build these things, and it makes it significantly easier to do. So please do go and watch that video. I'm going to link it, if I can, at the top right of the screen now. So I've just read the instructions for this. It's pretty much put a dry brush over them, make sure all the holes are we've got no swarf inside the holes, and that's interesting. And it also mentions to use an acrylic blue for those. So I've got my Railmatch Blue here, and I've also got the Vallejo Blue and some primer. So they recommend obviously don't put a primer on it because it's such a small thing, and these you could prime up if need be, but they would effectively lay flat in the ballast, and the ballast would go to the top. So I may give them just a coat of the grey that I've got, just to protect them a little bit. And I'm toying with running 3 different colours just to see what happens. I can always probably paint over them. They're not overly expensive, to be fair, so I shall give that a shot. I'm looking at these catch pits. I need to cut these out. These need to stay on here because I'm going to paint those up in a second. I'm going to try different colours. I need to put a fine brush through them. So let me just cut these out first of all. And see if I need to prime these up at all. They look like they've got one thing on each side. So fairly straightforward to cut out. One thing I've noticed, obviously where the laser burns the cardboard, when you glue it, your fingers get filthy. I mean, really black. I'm kind of hoping, is that enough to push them out? Let's have a look. Your fingers get filthy, as you can see, right? So I've got a brush here as well. So before I brush those, I'm just going to use this brush over here just to make sure it says that there's no warp in any of those. It doesn't look like it. They look pretty clear, to be fair. Super fine holes on that. So I might just try and get rid of some of this debris. They've even got the little side cutouts onto those as well. Pretty awesome. This is an acrylic blue that I got by Crawford Black from my local craft shop. So just going to stick that somewhere in the middle. Hope that the cameras will pick it up. I'm going to paint it in this blue. It says it needs to be very fine. So let's give it a shot. So you don't block up the paint. So you can see some of the holes are being blocked up there, can't you? If you just keep working the brush over it, we'll unblock them, I'm hoping. And there's a brush, a hair. Definitely got cheap brushes because the hairs are for the brush the brush bristles, the brush bristles, can't even say it, the brush bristles are falling out. So yeah, you probably just about make that out, but some of the holes are blocked up. That top one's not too bad. I guess you can always try a real small pin over them. Dabbing it seems to do a better job. So that's, yeah, weirdly, that is the acrylic blue. So we can now give a go the Luftwaffe uniform colour. Now again, this probably doesn't need a huge amount of colour. Let's just have a look at this. Yeah, straight away, that is way too grey. That's like I mean, that blue so far looks by far the best. I'm not even going to try that Luftwaffe grey because it is definitely the wrong colour. And so far, that blue there, which is on the screen at the moment, the acrylic paint blue. Oh, this is ultramarine on there actually. Looks a pretty good colour. Now, I guess you should wear a mask with this if you're spraying it. I'm assuming because I'm painting it, this is not going to cause me too much of a problem. I'm going to get a little bit of the colour. Crikey. Yeah, you can smell that. Bloody hell. Probably only that much colour just there. Look. That smells like proper paint. Woo. Wow. Let's give that a go. To be fair, that is really looking to me a little bit on the green side. I think the blue, the acrylic blue, the cheapest paint I could get my hands on, looks the best colour. Now I'm going to hold my hands up. I'm not sure if they put it on the SMS website, but it would be super handy if they were to say on their website recommended colour for the grid, because I wouldn't have bought so many blinking colours. So look at that. So right, so you can see straight away actually that the enamel paint is obviously a lot finer and doesn't block the holes up. And I'm hoping you can see the colours there on that. They are certainly a different green. Now I'm assuming, and please correct me if I'm wrong, but you can purchase, as in when I say purchase, I mean the railway buy these grids from other manufacturing companies, and I wonder if the blues are an enforced blue, because they like, you know, this is the colour makeup of the blue that you have to use, or they just supply, or the manufacturers just give a blue. Can you have different shades of blue for these catch pits, or are they, you know, very specific blue? You know, if you want a tender for these, you have to use this colour combination of whatever it is, RGB or CMY, is it, to be able to make your tender. So obviously, I guess as well, when these are put down, they'll be absolutely immaculate, and Then when I go and do my weathering, I spray on some of the sleeper grime, or whatever I'm painting, then it will obviously do something. So you can straight away, enamel really does stop the holes blocking up. I'm just going to try prodding away at those and just see if I can get rid of some of those holes that are filled up with blue paint. It's quite difficult to see, but I think I will probably have to go over these again. That looks more like an aqua. That says ultramarine. That looks like a turquoise, isn't it? Colour. It didn't look like that. Quite look like that in the actual. Yeah, I guess. Yeah. It does look a slightly different colour. The actual paint pot. I'm going to put those there for the time being. I don't know if you can see that in the paint pot itself. That's the acrylic blue called Ultramarine, and this is the Railmatch Blue that I purchased, which is Rail Blue 207 apparently. Not sure what Rail Blue is used for, but there you go, that's what it is. So there we go, we have done those so far. I'm going to move those off to one side and let those dry, and I'm thinking about priming up those. I have got some of this Vallejo Grey primer, and I'm going to have to use something to allow me to hold those. Now I might just paint the tops and sides, just because the bottoms are not going to be seen. They're going to be, in effect, they're going to be buried inside the ballast. So let me just check this out. Look, if you can see that, it's like white and black at the same time. What's that look like? Very watery. Is it meant to be that watery? Let's give it a bit more of a shake. Crikey. Yeah. I'm not sure if there's a right or wrong for these, to be fair. They both look, so I'm just going to hold them with those tweezers, I think, and just run a coat of paint over them. It's a bit lighter than I was hoping. I think they probably need to be, that needs to be a darker grey, I think, realistically, but yeah, that was not. It's probably best to paint it. I was expecting that to be slightly darker in colour. So I'm going to use my fingers just to take the paint off of that. So okay, so I'm going to leave those dry now for an hour, come back in an hour's time and see what their situation is for those. So I've left these to dry now for about an hour. I hope you can see the colour differences. I've just got to cut these out now and paint around the sides as per the SMS instructions. But I think the blue has come out pretty good. I don't think I need to do a second coat on them. At the end of the day, they will have some kind of overspray from the weathering when you do the tracks. Use my glasses just because these are remarkably fine. I don't want to destroy them, so you can just see the tabs when looked at the back. I think there is 4. So the instruction says to paint these by
by using some tweezers on the edges, and then you can glue them to the boxes, and then you fold the tabs down, glue those. I'm hoping they will now pop out right. To be fair, they are not as well painted as I was hoping they would be, so I think I'm going to have to just do them again, I think, in the blue. Let me just get my sheet of paper. Probably shouldn't have cut them out, and I should have probably inspected them a little bit more beforehand. So let's fill this in. I've still got my blue paint here, and just got to soften this in. So I'm thinking I'm going to try just dabbing these. Actually, it does dry actually very dark compared to the colour that I applied. So this actually does work quite well, although it's going to be, I might have blocked up the holes a bit too much. So this is going to be left for, I guess, another hour or so to dry. I haven't got much of my paint left, but I may have to just top it up. Just move those around. So a quick look. Got a couple of holes, but I mean, I don't think that's going to make too much of a difference overall. Now, weirdly, that is the blue-grey. That's a bit of a darker colour, and that's the Railmatch Rail Blue. So I'll leave those to dry now for an hour, come back to those shortly, see how they all look when it's dried out. Whilst I'm waiting for those to dry, I guess these are going to go something like that, I'm guessing. So they would be pretty much like this, located there and there, maybe one further back. I'm not quite sure how far spaced they should be, whether that's too close. Maybe it needs to be more there. So we've got a bit of a bigger gap between them. So let me just do a bit of a zoom in so you can see we've got one all the way by the glue and one by the bottle of fizzy drink. So from a low level, we've got the catch pit there. We've got my trunking running across here, and every so often you'll have another catch pit along there as well. So a few of these catch pits are actually going to be a bit too high. So I've just cut a little bit of foam out just here, and I've just painted it with some brown acrylic paint, because otherwise it's going to look like plywood if you look through the grills. I think that's probably not the best idea. And I've got another one just here, which I've also done as well. So I've spaced them around about 60 centimeters apart, and that I think looks pretty good on this layout. So I've got this one here on some of the black foam. Now that's kind of level because it's a bit lower down, so I think that's going to look fine. And I've added one just here near my points, and I've had to cut that one out as well and paint that in to a brown background, otherwise it'll look a bit odd when looking directly from above. So that will be flush then with the tops of the, well, the bottom of the sleepers, I guess, is where they will be. So these have now had a second coat So I now need to glue them to these, which I've put in with black. I primed them up and put them in black. I don't think I really probably needed to paint them actually because they were quite dark. But I now need to run a bead glue round and I need to put these little grates on. So I'm going to have a quick go at doing that right now. My glue is dried up in there, so I just need to chop the end. Put a magnifying glass on for this particular occasion. Oops. Apparently you line these up and pop them in place. Once they're glued, you fold the tabs over. Still a bit wet that one. Okay, so there's 6 of the catch pits all done. They got the dark blue, got to let them dry just a few minutes until I can fold over the little catches. I don't know if you can see here, but I did those in the enamel blue, the rail blue. I've gone over those for another coat now of the normal blue acrylic, and I think they're probably not too far away from being put on themselves. Okay, so I'm just going to try folding these over. Hopefully you'll be able to see this. You can just pop a little bit of glue. I'll just do the same again. Try to get rid of the bubbles, tiny amount. Just there. Then it says just fold over the tab. Use a tweezer. So I'm going to hold in place. That's one done. There's another one done. So I've got a smallest amount of bleed on that. Just going to touch that there. See if I can just push that back. That one hasn't quite glued. Okay, it's just lost a little bit there. I've got a bit of a blue overspill on that, but I'm sure it won't matter too much. I'm going to continue with these now, and I'll come back to you in a second. So I'm not sure if you can see it, but some of the blue has just popped up. I'm going to just use this fine tip here and just see if I can just gently use a bit of the blue to paint over that section and hide it, although the ballast will probably go up to that high anyway. But we'll do that, and same on this side as well. Like so, and hopefully it will blend in quite nicely. I'll do that on the ones that need it. So here are 6 of those catch pits are ready to install on the layout. So I'm going to pop one of them here. I've already cut a hole and made it dark. Hopefully this just push into that like that. So it's going to be flush and the ballast will go around that. So there's one in place just there. So I'll just go and add the others in. Here's another one of the catch pits in place. As you can see, it's just here, and I've got my trunking on the other side. All these are scale model scenery. kits, and they've been pretty straightforward and easy to do. So I'm going to leave this video here, this particular part, because I think it's got over 20 minutes just doing some catch pits and trunking. So I think it's looking pretty good at the moment. I'm kind of dressing the track up as I'd like, and to be honest, it's looking pretty good to my eyes. And I'm hoping that you all agree that adding some of these little bits to the layout really will bring the model alive. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button. If you hit the notification bell, then you will get emailed every time I release another video. So thanks for watching to the end. It's been great. Thanks to all the new subscribers, and once again, hope to see you again soon. Goodbye.